Okay, hi guys. We wanted to give some more time for people to come in, but we might just go ahead and start now. So, in the tradition of doing these calls the last few weeks, we've started to change our names. So, this week we have decided if you can, just change your name by using the little blue dots by your name when you hover over it to a movie or a TV show that you've been watching in this time of quarantine. So, yeah, I need to change mine. Liam had a good one. So if everyone changes it to either a movie or a TV show that you've been watching in quarantine. Have a look now. Liam Lion King, very good, very good. Luther. John's one, okay. Been watching Killing Eve myself. No. What's Amanda? I actually can't see him. Anyways, what? Oh, Home?
Yeah, it's an Apple TV show. It's really good.
Cool. So, yeah, if you change that. Just while we're on the call, if you guys have any questions at all or comments, just pop them in the little chat function. You should be able to get to it by the little, should say, chat on the bottom of your screen, and then it'll open up. So just pop your questions in there. We will have time at the end to go through hopefully most of your questions and try our best to answer them. And yeah, that's it. I'll pop in any links or things that are coming up so you can access all the material. But I will hand it over to Amanda today. She will be taking us through how to run Holy Spirit Day, so online, so that'll be fun. And I will hand it over to Amanda.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda O'Shea, and I really appreciate some of you I recognize from being on the calls the last couple of weeks. We really appreciate you taking this journey with us and learning about how to run Alpha Youth online. Today, we are going to focus on how to run the Holy Spirit Retreat and finishing well. So you might be wondering, how is that even possible online? I came across this funny video, and I do encourage you, as part of your Holy Spirit Retreat Day, include some funny videos like this if you like, maybe on a different topic, but maybe the same. So just take a look at this.
Oh, help. Can you help me, please? I'm stuck.
I don't think that's a good idea. I have zero experience in lumberjacking.
Thank God you're here. Can you make some food? I've been stuck here for 6 days, and all I've had to eat are 2 pine cones.
Well, I'm not a nutritionist, so I wouldn't know what someone in your condition would...
Do something!
Do what? I'm not a zoologist.
There's a gun in the tent. Get the gun.
I don't have a license. I've never operated...
Look, just throw a rock or something.
I'm not a geologist. I don't know which one would be most effective.
Oh, I don't want to die. I don't even know if I'll get into heaven. Do you at least know how to get into heaven?
Well, actually, I'm a Christian, but I'm not a theologian, so I wouldn't really know what to say to you. But, you know, if you ever get out of here, you really should look into it.
Oh, he's coming! Run!
But I have no formal training in long-distance running.
I think one of the funny things about this video, that when you think about running the Holy Spirit Day, some people who run Alpha shy away from running the Holy Spirit Retreat altogether, the day away, because they think they need to be an expert, and you really don't. So I'm hoping today will prove that, that there are no experts required, no theologians required to run Alpha or even the Holy Spirit Day away. It's very accessible. And all of the theology is covered in the videos, so you don't have to worry about it. You just facilitate a warm and welcoming space. But first, we're going to talk about how we can have a little bit of fun. So we're going to have a bit of a scavenger hunt. So you're going to have to get up for this. So everyone on the call, I'm going to ask you to go get something. And if you can come back to me, the first person to come back with gets double the points. And then if you can come back with the item that I've asked you to get, you'll get a certain amount of points. And I want you to put your points up on the chat as we go so we can see who the winner is at the end of it all, because I won't be able to keep up with that. Okay, so the very first thing, you've got to go find this in your home, and you've got to bring it back as quick as you can to the screen. So if you can go get a coffee mug, go get a coffee mug. First one back. Oh, I see Andrew Hickey with one. Oh, I don't know who was first. Jenny, I saw Rebecca, you're on, not videos on, so I don't know. There's Jane. Okay, I don't know who was first there. Shannon, did you see? No. You can come off mute while we play this. You can help me out.
See anyone?
I think I saw Andrew Hickey with the first. We'll give it to Andrew, brother Andrew there, as you get double the points. So everybody else that got a coffee mug, give yourself 5 points in the chat. And Andrew Hickey, give yourself 10 points in the chat. So you just put the number 10 and it'll come up beside your name and we'll know that that's you. Okay, the next item that I want you to go get is a physical Bible. A physical Bible. If you have a physical Bible. Oh, I see Liam. Liam has one. He's already at the screen there. And Tanya and Jenny, I didn't get down to you quick enough. I was trying to scroll down. So I wouldn't know if Tanya and Jenny were faster than Liam. Tanya, could you or Jenny be honest and let me know? You can come off mute. Were you there before Liam, or was Liam first? No? Jenny, were you before Liam? You can unmute yourself.
I was before Liam, but I don't know about Tanya, so.
Okay, but Tanya thinks she wasn't. So we'll go with Jenny as our winner. So Jenny, you get 30 points for that. And everybody else that got a physical Bible gets 15. So put 15 by your name, 15 points by your name. Okay, now I want everybody, for those just joining the call, we're playing a scavenger hunt, so you have to go get the item that I'm asking for and bring it back to your screen as quick as possible. Go get a pet if you have a pet. If you don't, give me a stuffed animal of one. Go for a pet. If you have a pet of any kind, go get it, bring it back. If you don't, bring me a picture of one or a stuffed animal. Beth has a stuffed animal. We'll see if somebody, who's the first one? Tanya comes with a cat. Oh, beautiful cat. Jenny has a stuffed animal. Thank you for the cat. Beautiful Tanya. She's gorgeous. Tanya, you have to tell us the cat's name.
Bessie.
Bessie. Hi, Bessie. Excellent. So Tanya, because you were actually able to get us an actual pet, I'm going to give you the double points of 60 points. If anybody else was able to get an actual pet, give yourself 30. And if you were able to get a stuffed animal, give yourself 25. So that's a good effort. Give yourself 25 for a stuffed animal or a picture of any kind where there was some effort made there. Okay. Now, let's go for toilet paper. If anybody, the first person back with some toilet paper, because it's been a hot item during this coronavirus epidemic that we've been having, this pandemic. If people, oh, Jenny already has toilet paper, so does Jane. Can't tell if Jane or Jenny had it first. Oh, Shannon, who got it first? Could you tell? Unmute yourself. Shannon, you were first. Were you before Jane and Jenny?
Yeah, I was before Jenny, but I don't know if I was before Jane. I could only see Jenny.
Jane, could you tell if you were before Jenny? You can unmute yourself.
No idea.
Okay, so what I'll do there is I'll give Jane and Shannon first place there with the toilet paper. So you guys get 50 points, and everybody else that got toilet paper can put 25 points by their name. If you brought toilet paper to the game, you get 25 points. Okay, last one. If you have another physical person in the house that you can bring onto the call, go get them and bring them back. Anyone that you can physically bring back onto the call. Another physical person. anyone, a child, a spouse, a friend, a flatmate. Oh, I see someone coming. Who is it? I can't see. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, Jane's brought someone. Hi. Tell us your name with Jane.
What's your
Not
name?
to embarrass you. What's your name?
Harry. It's
Harry. Hi. You're very welcome. Thanks for letting us embarrass you. I think he was the only one. Jane, Andrew, were you able to get someone? No. Oh, Tanya had a little friend. Oh, there's Jenny with her daughter, Jenny. Who have you got on there with you? Jenny, tell us who you've got.
This is Emily.
Hi, Emily. You're
Yeah,
very
she's a
welcome.
superstar.
Thanks for coming on the call for our
Very quick.
game. Very
Yeah.
good. Excellent. So and Andrew got someone. Andrew, introduce your guest. Who did you get on the call with us? Brother Andrew? You have to unmute yourself. Here, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Brother Matthew.
Oh, Brother Matthew, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming on the call. So dear. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So we're going to give all of you that actually brought another person onto the call 40 points. So go ahead and put 40 points by your name. Now I'm going to have to just trust you guys to add up your own points. It should be there in the chat, and then give me a total by your name. So I'll give you a minute to do that while I talk for a minute. So add up your scores and just put your total by your name, and then Shannon will look through as everybody does that and let us know who the winner was once everybody tallies up their totals there. So everybody take a chance. So that's a home scavenger hunt that you can have a bit of fun with your young people. It's actually in the PDF that is online. It is in the our website at alphaireland.org under the Alpha Youth section. It's actually, I believe, right next to Shannon's picture of her video that she has, and our host today. So if you look for her, there's a PDF that you can click on, and in that PDF, oh no, that's the Alpha Complete Guide, sorry. This game actually came from Zoom Games, which is at the bottom of the Alpha Youth page on our website. So it says Zoom Games at the very bottom. You can click on it, and this scavenger hunt is on there, as well as a bunch of other games that you can try to run with your young people to have a bit of fun and enjoy being with them. So do make your retreat out fun. I do encourage you at the beginning of the day that you have a bit of a game and just let people be relaxed and enjoy starting the day. So we'll go on to the next slide there, Liam. The last couple of weeks, we have been running how to prepare and how to begin. That webinar is on our website. So you could go in there and look at, if you're unsure of how to run a Zoom call or how to set up the invitation or the account, we actually have an explainer video on our website of how to set up a Zoom account. And then we talk all about how to prepare and how to begin that alpha. So that's in that first webinar, and it's been recorded, so it's up on the website for you to watch back anytime you need to. And then we have one, the next week was last week, and it was sharing your video and how to do small groups online. So that's using the breakout room function and how to actually stream the video in a way that's clear for everybody. And you can go back over that webinar and it'll explain exactly how to do that. But when you're getting ready for your Alpha Holy Spirit retreat, there's a lot of people that just jump straight in. And actually, there's some really good resources on our website that if you register your Alpha at My Alpha, you'll have access to the video that I'm just about to show you. Because what it will do is it will have these videos that say top tips, and there'll be one that'll have like a weekly briefing. And this video is next to the one on the Holy Spirit retreat, and it'll give you some tips on how to prepare. And this particular video is quite important as you're preparing and getting ready for your Holy Spirit retreat. So if you can go ahead and play that, Liam. There's no sound, Liam. As Liam works out the sound there for a minute, he's going to bring up this video back up. You may have to stop screen sharing and then come back into it. I'm not sure for sharing your sound. But this, we'll see. I'll go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try again. You think you have it? You can interrupt me if you want. No, no sound. So while he gets that sorted out, you will on your day, don't worry about it. If you have any technical difficulties, go ahead and keep talking to your guests, and go ahead and fill that space so people understand what's going on. And we have them as well sometimes. There you are. And this is just sharing your sound. You just have to make sure that that happens.
It is nearly time for the Holy Spirit weekend away. So let's go through some key points for a successful time away.
The first thing you need to check is if your team has gone through the prayer ministry training in preparation for your weekend away. If not, make sure they do this before they go, so everyone feels ready and knows what to do.
Make sure that your program is set in advance so that you can determine how much time you will need for the talks and the ministry time. Not forgetting plenty of free time for the guests to relax and get to know each other better. If you decide to do a day away, bear in mind that you will not be able to cover all 4 talks. You might want to do a combined talk to start, or schedule the last talk, making the most of life, for the week after your day away.
Make sure you give yourself time this week to pray that all the guests would come to your time away and that their hearts would be open to God. Also pray for your team and yourself that you would be sensitive to God's leading.
When you get to your small group discussions, resist the urge to try and explain the Holy Spirit through experiences that you may have seen or heard about. The guests need time to discuss and process who the Holy Spirit is and what the Holy Spirit does. So focus on asking questions that help the small group explore the truth in the talks. For example, how do you feel about the idea of God giving us supernatural gifts?
For the weekend, my top tip is to make sure you do not give in to the pressure to try and manufacture an atmosphere. Focus instead on making yourself available to be used by God and allow room and time for Him to work. Expect to be refreshed yourself and don't rush through the ministry time.
So prayer before your Holy Spirit day or your retreat online is really crucial and really key. You want to make sure to take that time. You can go on to the next slide, Liam. Expect to have fun. So we had a bit of fun there at the beginning. Expect to have fun. Have a bit of fun with your guests. There are lots of games you can play. I'm going to go through a sample schedule in a minute, but there's some really good ideas. There's a great resource called Kahoot.ie, if Shannon wants to put that up in the chat. It's an app you can download, and it gives you quizzes. You can actually create quizzes on Kahoot.ie and play them. Everything that we do is going to be shared with you. So anything that we've talked about here that you have questions about, definitely, I think it's K, John. I think it's KHOOT.ie, is it? I could be wrong, but Kahoot.ie is it's a fantastic resource to run a quiz. Do have fun with your young people, and expect to have a good time with them. Tell people you could even have people come with their slippers on, their house slippers, and put their feet up, have their favorite snack, and just get really relaxed and to enjoy the time together. And create expectation. What do I mean by this? There's a couple of ways, but one of the ways I really love is sending a testimony in advance. So one way you could do this is to actually take your phone and just do a video of somebody that's been on a Holy Spirit day before and how it has impacted them. That creates expectation with people. Send your guests in advance the timetable so that can create expectation. That also lets people know exactly what you're going to cover on the day. Sometimes it can feel a bit mysterious. What is a Holy Spirit day away? I mean, what are they going to be doing? And when you just outline the day for folks in advance in an email to let them know what you're going to do, this creates expectation. But I love the idea of a testimony. And if you want to obtain some testimonies from us, we've recorded some testimonies around Ireland as well, and we're happy to share those with you, and you can send those out to your guests as well. I wanted to give you an example of one now.
Is when the young people are gathered in the small group, they're encouraged to share what they think. And sometimes they don't know what they think until they voice it. And then they say, wow, that is what I think. That is what I believe. And then maybe they might feel challenged. Why do I believe that? am I happy with what I believe? And then their peers can kind of hear that, maybe challenge them, and maybe they'll hear something inspiring from another young person in the group. So it's kind of like they're teaching each other, and you're watching, and you're just kind of helping to facilitate that experience. But I think the building of the relationships, if nothing else, might be the most important thing. And, you know, because we're hoping also that they'll experience Jesus when we're with them.
Kind of gives you a bit more like strength when you have stuff going on, and then you're reminded of these kind of things. It just really helps. I felt so like overwhelmed by like what I actually taught that like I started crying. I went and I talked to this woman working there, and she like told me that like, oh, don't be upset, like it's okay. That just really helped me, like, and I'll never forget like that day either.
So this is an example of a testimony, and we can pass this on. This is just 1 minute of a 6-minute longer video that we have. We have some other videos of testimonies, and sending that along to people ahead of time just creates expectation and helps people get ready for the day. It hears from other people on how the whole Alpha or the Holy Spirit Day has impacted them. And so let me show you a sample schedule. This is just an example. You don't have to do your day like this. We definitely think you should keep it shorter, much shorter than when you would normally run a day away or a weekend. Now, we had a call with running the Holy Spirit Day with adults earlier in the week on Monday, and someone had a really good idea, and I just wanted to share it with you, and that was to maybe, you could start on the Friday night if you wanted to show more of the videos. But you don't have to. You can do it all in a couple of hours, maybe 3 if you really want to stretch it. But people will check out if you run it much longer than that. So if you can keep it much shorter, around 2 hours, I think you'll have a much better response and people staying with you. And if they know they're blocking out, I mean, typically people will block out 2 to 3 hours max for a movie, right? When they sit down and watch a movie on Netflix before they want to do something else. So it's same as when you're on a Zoom call, you're looking at a screen and you are engaging with people, but you don't want to go much longer than that and looking at a screen continuously, because people just get tired and they'll kind of check out from you. So we would encourage you to do the same with your Holy Spirit Day. Try to not go much longer. So this is just a sample schedule. And again, this sample schedule is in our Alpha Online Complete Guide on our website. I believe it's in the adult one, so you could take a look at it there. But, and I added in the idea of games here at the beginning, especially when working with young people. So when you welcome people, that's at the very top. You want to have just time to relax and chill, check in with everybody. How is everybody doing? And then have, and you'll want again to have a good robust team on the day, just like you would when you're running Alpha, the same team, the same small group leaders. And you want to have on the call, you know, someone running tech. So we have Liam today running tech, and we have Shannon hosting, and then myself presenting. And I think this is really helpful so that you can focus each on the different jobs that you're having. You can have multiple hosts if you want, but at the beginning, you know, welcome everyone, tell everyone to get that snack and get chill and get relaxed. And then if you're going to do and have a game, definitely have some fun. And like I said, those Zoom games are on our website. If you're going to do some worship, that's going to be, you know, you'll understand whether it's relevant in your, whether you've been doing that or not. Hopefully you've maybe introduced one song potentially in your Alpha. I wouldn't start that till week 3. And this happens usually on week 7. But I would only do like one song because it can be new for people. Fortunately, it's a lot easier to do worship online actually than in person, because you don't have to have somebody lead with a guitar. If you happen to have someone that can do that, that's fantastic. But if you don't want to get into that kind of setup, you can go on YouTube, and there are loads of songs that have the lyrics already incorporated that you should be able to download, that are free to download. You'll need to get a thing called YouTube Downloader. That'll give you access to some of those. So then you'll want to watch together the first talk on who is the Holy Spirit, and there break for discussion groups. Now, I recommend you go ahead and discuss 1 Corinthians 14 because it's going to talk about those supernatural gifts, and it would be a good time just to have time with your group to find out what they think about that. So give some time and go into your breakout rooms with your small group leaders, just like when you're running Alpha, have those same discussion groups. And then when you come back, I'd recommend do a quiz. You could use that Kahoot.ie and have that quiz ready before you get online and know exactly how to do that. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use. I was on it with a group of friends a couple of weeks ago, maybe even just a week ago, and we had a really good night. But you can do short quizzes there. I've just left a little bit of time there, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe for a quiz. You could take a quick break for 5 minutes and let people go to the toilet or get a glass of water or tea or whatever they need to do. And then you could come back and you could watch the next video on how can I be filled. And then go for a discussion time again. And we're going to talk a minute about prayer ministry in just a minute, and I'm going to break that down. But in that discussion, that second discussion group time at 11:15, as one of the prayer ministry times, it can happen then. So you'll have a discussion time, but then you can actually, if you've gotten your entire team, that's all your small group leaders trained on prayer ministry, they should be able to lead it well with in their breakout rooms. But the important thing to remember is that they ask for consent. So before you go on this retreat day away with them, you'll need parents to make sure that they know that you're doing this with these young people and that they have consented. So you'd want to do that with at the beginning of your alpha anyway, that you are going to be engaging with these young people online, and you could go ahead and include in your initial permission form or consent form at the top of your alpha, at the very first week of alpha, you could get permission to run this Holy Spirit Day with them, or you can do an additional one if you feel like you need to do that to make sure that they know you're going to have a longer period of time with their young person online. But you'll definitely need to make sure that you get consent before doing any prayer ministry. Super important. But that time can happen with that small group leader and that small group discussion time where they can just ask. And it's that simple, come Holy Spirit prayer, isn't it? This is also a very critical time for some people in their journey who may have walked away from church. Maybe they went through their confirmation and then they walked away from church and they decide that they want to maybe follow Jesus. They want to really mark that. And so you want to, at the end of the book that Nikki Gumbel wrote, and it's on our website about why Alpha, there's a short little prayer, and each of your small group leaders, and you can download this, it's in a PDF form in the My Alpha again. When you register your Alpha, there's a short little prayer you can take your participants through for those who are choosing to kind of come back and follow Christ. Short little prayer there to follow if you need that as a guide. So I'd encourage you at that time that's when you would do that. And then corporately at the very end, when you bring everybody back, there's a time to just pray and close and just invite the Holy Spirit to come and leave time for that to breathe. Don't feel like you got to manufacture it, like it said in that video, in the tips video, and don't feel like you've got to make something happen. The Holy Spirit will go before you on this. You can have confidence that the Holy Spirit is much more interested in the hearts of these young people than even we are, as we try to facilitate a safe space for them to meet with us. And if you're worried, whenever I get worried or a bit anxious about doing something like this, I remember 1 Thessalonians 5:24, and it says, "He who calls you is faithful, and he will do it." So the Holy Spirit will go before you, and he will set the path. He's the one already at work in the hearts of these young people. They wouldn't be coming along to your Alpha otherwise, because God is at work in them. And God is plowing the fields of their hearts for that good seed to land in. So I'll just expect the Holy Spirit to invigorate them and refresh them. Expect, as I said in that top tips video, to refresh you, for you to get refreshed on the day, that the Holy Spirit will fill you up as well, which is exciting. So just invite the Holy Spirit to come, Holy Spirit. So that's at the very end there, and it explains much more in that prayer ministry training video. I do encourage you to go on our website. When you register your Alpha on the My Alpha button on our website, you'll have access to those videos, the prayer ministry training being one of them. If you want to go to the next slide, Liam. So this there is HTBB. It's the Asia Pacific in Malaysia They ran a Holy Spirit Day. They've already actually run a few, and they actually put their entire Holy Spirit Day up on YouTube, which is fantastic. So you can actually go, and here's the link, and I think Shannon has put the link in the chat as well, and you can go and click on that link. Even now, if you click on it and save it to go look at it another time, if you take down this link, you can actually look at someone else's Holy Spirit Day online. Now, this one was run for adults, but it's the same concepts and principles that you can apply. The only thing you'd probably add in are some games and the quiz bit. But they ran the entire 2 hours in about 18 minutes. Now, you'll want to, I don't know why they did this, but you'll want to fast forward about almost 30 minutes of the video, because the first 30 minutes of the video is literally just that screen you see. This is a screenshot. That's when you know you're in the right place. So if you want to get some ideas, I also, though, don't want you to be intimidated by how slick it is. It is very slick. They've been doing this a lot longer, and we're learning a lot of good practices from them. We still don't have best practice that we can offer for running Alpha Youth Online until we can get some experience. But we do know some good practices that other countries are doing and having good success of the Holy Spirit meeting with people, which is fantastic. So here's just a way to help build that confidence to go after that. So I want to talk for just a minute about prayer ministry, actual prayer ministry. On the next slide. So one of the things that HTBB did was the team got together and they prayed. And when they prayed, they asked specifically for some words of knowledge. And what does that mean if you're not familiar or haven't ever used that before? So when the group was praying for their guests, this is before the Holy Spirit Day, when they were praying, they just were asking God, is there something specific that the guests need prayer for? And so someone might get, well, I'm getting that someone might have a sore knee, or someone is really fearful during this time and needs peace, or someone is really worried about a family member, and it could be, these things will come to you as you're praying. You don't know who specifically it's for. But what you can do is take those words of knowledge and put them on a slide, just like you're looking at here on your screen, and just list all the words of knowledge. And your host, like Shannon, would say, we prayed for you before we came on this call with you today. And here are some things that we felt God was speaking to us about for you. When you break into your small groups, your last discussion group times, the host might say something like, we would love to pray for you about this. If you don't want to identify yourself, please send your small group leader an email, and they would love to pray with you individually about that. But if you're happy enough in your small group time to bring that up, we would be happy to pray for you right then and there about that. So that's what the words of knowledge is for. Can be done in advance. You can put them all up on a screen in advance, and then you can just pray into them. You can just pray into them in general. The person leading the whole day can just pray for those words of knowledge and pray for the group as a whole. Testimony is really helpful because it builds confidence. If a young person sees another young person, and we do have one video that we can share around that you can send out to your guests in advance, or you can share it on the day of a young person and how God and the Holy Spirit really came into their life and drew them closer through Alpha and through the Holy Spirit Day. So sharing testimony helps young people to really see, okay, this isn't a scary thing. This is actually really life-giving and something I really need in my life. And then that I mentioned it a minute ago, but people can sign up for prayer after. I encourage you to make this available. So you could either have one person have an email address that people email at the end of your day, and they can sign up for like a 15-minute slot, just one-on-one prayer time with either the one person that facilitates that, or you have each of your small group leaders give their email address to their small group, and the small group actually emails the small group leader and books a time with them for prayer ministry. Again, you want to keep your ratios, you want to keep men to men and women to women, and all of that's in the prayer ministry training. So make sure you heed all of those. They're really good advice. So there's just some ideas about running prayer ministry online with young people. Again, don't forget to get consent. You want to go to the next slide, Liam? So this is just a reminder here to say, you can go on our website, you can access all of the videos except for the very first one, which was a funny one. If you ever type in, if you ever want a funny video, you can go to Bluefish TV on YouTube. They have fabulous videos. They have a website as well. It's a Christian video site that just produces really funny videos on just about any topic. But I usually incorporate them, and they're a great way to break up the day and have something fun in the mix. And you can use the one that if you want access to that one, again, you can email me and I'll send you the link for that, because I didn't prepare to send that one to you. Sorry about that. But that's our website. And all the other videos, the testimony ones, we can send to you via email. But the top tips ones is available to you straight away if you just register your My Alpha, as well as the prayer ministry training like we've mentioned a few times now. So I believe that's me. Liam, is that it? Yep. So we want to leave time now for you to ask questions. I'm sure there are loads of questions. On Monday, I left around this about time, and we still ran out of time to answer everybody's questions. While we're doing these questions, we're going to put up a poll as well. So I already see Jane has raised her hand, so we'll start with Jane, and then Shannon is going to actually help facilitate. Shannon's going to unmute herself and keep an eye and tell me who next to take, but we'll start with Jane because her name just came up for me. And while we're doing these questions, there's a poll that should have just jumped up in front of you. And if you could be filling out this poll while we talk these next 20 minutes, that would really help us out so that we know how we're doing. So we really appreciate that. So Jane, go ahead and unmute yourself and we'll start with your question.
Yeah, so I've never run an Alpha Youth, so I'm just trying to predict what I think will be a question when we actually come to Holy Spirit. And having run an adult Holy Spirit Day, I know it's all about kind of by the time you're getting ready to finish, you feel so, it's on fire really, but just so happy and relaxed and at peace. And I would love for the Alpha Youth session to finish in the same way. So I'm just wondering, when you're just looking at the sample schedule, so you finish with your last discussion group and you can do the give time to come Holy Spirit and praying over them, and then the offer for one-on-one prayer afterwards. But would it be, so it doesn't end like that, would it be okay to say bookend it with another song together?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. Yeah, definitely. Something I didn't bring up today that, I mean, you guys could help me innovate because I'm still trying to figure it out. A part of our some adults use them, but we definitely use them in a lot of our Alpha Youth Holy Spirit retreats, Jane, is 24/7s or prayer spaces in schools, prayer spaces as part of the retreat. I just haven't yet figured out how to incorporate that online, and I haven't had time to figure that piece out. It could be a good way to end it as well. They have fabulous resources. All the resources are free to download. You just have to make an account at prayerspaces.com. Is it, Shannon? Do you remember what the...
Yeah, I think it's Prayer Spaces in School. I'll check now. Hold on.
Yeah,
Prayerspacesinschools.co.uk.
Prayerspacesinschools.com, is it? Or .co.uk, you said?
Check now.
They're going to check for us.
Yeah.
.com. So if you go to that website, they have fabulous resources for, I've printed off a lot of their prayer spaces, and then physically we would run those. And when I ran one, Jane, for your church, actually, a long time ago with Amy Luttrell, we ran a retreat day. We used the prayer spaces, and she borrowed all of my prayer spaces. I helped her set them up for the day. And it is a great way for young people to really encounter and connect with God on the day and individually, but that's just seeing as it's done individually. Brother Andrew would have great experience of it, that we've done it. And I don't yet have the answer for how to do it online. I would love for you guys to try it and innovate with me and help us come up with some ideas and feed back to me how that works. But definitely finishing with a song is a fabulous idea.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question? Any questions, anyone? Brother Andrew, I'll unmute
I'll
you.
unmute you. Oh, yeah.
About getting the webinars back on again. You know, and getting into your website and looking at the webinars again. I managed it one time, but I haven't been able to find it. I was looking for them yesterday evening, but I haven't been able to find them on the website.
Okay, so if you go, when you get to the homepage for alphaireland.org, Brother Andrew, there's a banner that says either Alpha Online at the top or How My Church Can Thrive.
Yes.
If you click on that banner, it'll take you to the Alpha Online, and if you scroll to the bottom, you can, if you're looking specifically for Alpha Youth Online resources, you'll need to click on the red button that says Alpha Youth Online. But if before that, after that, it'll list all the webinar videos. You have to keep scrolling to the bottom of the Alpha Online page, and it should list, is that right, John? I'm looking at John's face. It's underneath where it says Alpha Online, Alpha Youth Online, and then the marriage course. So Liam is very kindly showing us.
So if you just click on online there, so that's your homepage there when you go into Alpha Ireland and you click online, and that will bring you through. And then if you scroll down, so your church can thrive, if you keep scrolling down here, thank you, Liam, keep scrolling, and you'll see that it comes, there's this, no, you don't go into that one. So keep scrolling down, Liam. You see the free online training there, and then all the videos are embedded there for you to be able to see them. And this one will be up there as well tomorrow morning. So obviously all 9 webinars that we'd have done by Friday will be up there, but specifically the Alpha Youth Online are the ones in the middle, and that's the way to do them. I'll also put in now, I'm just going to check out the YouTube link, and I'll just stick that into the group chat as well for the direct one, but they will all be on that, and they'll stay on there as well for you to be able to go back and to look at any time you want.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're welcome. And don't hesitate, Brother Andrew, to give us a call or email us if you need any help with any of these resources or anything that you need. We are here to help you, so let us know.
Another question about doing Alpha online.
Yes.
I know Alpha is usually a session every week.
Yes.
How about 2 sessions a week?
You can, absolutely. It's interesting that you say that because in the summertime, we usually don't encourage churches to run Alpha at all in the summertime, but this summer we are encouraging churches to run it because people are going to be home. They're not going to be able to travel. So it's the only reason we encourage it not in the past. And the only people who do usually run Alpha in the summertime, even when it's not a pandemic, is young people, because they run it at camp and they run a talk every day or 2 talks a day. And they'll do it, and it works successfully at camps. I know several youth camps who've run Alpha Youth as their curriculum for the whole week. And they'll do a talk in the morning and a talk at night, and they'll do that for 5 days or 4 days. So it's very doable to do 2 a week. John, go ahead.
Yeah, so again, this is kind of what Amanda was saying, is that we're innovating at this point, and we're really happy to hear what people are saying and trying. I know that Bo Hermine, for example, are running an adult Alpha at the moment, and they're doing that 2 nights a week again, because they're saying everybody's at home and they're looking for things to do anyway. So, you know, a Monday and a Thursday, or a Tuesday and a Thursday, or whatever it is, to give it a shot. And I think we're really excited to hear whether or not that works and how that might work. But I would suggest that there are no limitations to what it is, and to try it. And, you know, it's the type of thing that you'll know the people that you're working with better. So to give that a shot and see how it works.
Yes, very good.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there any other questions, Andrew? Does that help?
Well, that's very helpful, yeah. I mean, I thought that the idea of more than once a week might be better, because it happens quicker then, you know.
Yeah,
and
it does.
And I mean, we're starting now maybe in May. Now we don't know what's going to be in July.
That's true.
Or August.
That's true.
So I think to do it faster and more, may have more of an impact.
That's true. It's a really good point, Brother Andrew. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jenny, did you have your hand up as well?
Sure, I'd just like to ask about prayer ministry.
Sure.
I know that you used to do like little training sessions, like I saw one was happening down in Cork or somewhere like that. I know there's a prayer ministry training video online, but I'm wondering, are you going to do a webinar, or is it just go online and look at the video? And
Yep, you're actually the second. They asked this on Monday as well, so it's something we're definitely looking into as a topic. We're going to actually, after this week, like this is obviously the webinars for our 3 resources that we've been talking to people about, Alpha Online, Alpha Youth Online, and then the Marriage Course Online. We've been running a webinar Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for. These finish this week, starting very soon. Either in the next week or 2. I'm not sure what our launch date is yet, but very, very soon you're going to start to see content go up every week, and there'll be a webinar every week from Alpha, and one of those soon will be on prayer ministry. So we will do a prayer ministry training. Where and when, I'll let you know for sure, Jenny, when it's going to happen. I'll make sure you know. And just email me if I forget, if I don't make sure. But you should see it advertised, because what we're going to do is we're going to put up a schedule of all our webinars that are coming up. Hopefully we're going to cover everything. And that's a really great question that we could maybe ask people to put into the chat right now, because we are building that schedule right now. If there was something you would love covered in a webinar, you could go ahead and put it in a chat. And that helps us as we're creating content for people, because everything we're doing is to serve you and to serve the church. So we want to be creating things that is going to help you get Alpha launched in your locality and in your parish. So go ahead, if you have an idea or something you would love in a webinar on or answering, you could put it in the chat, and we'll do our absolute best. I do want to stop there for a second. We'll come back to you, Jenny. Tell me who the winner was, because some of our people have left.
Jenny.
It was Jenny. So Jenny Jenny was the top winner. What was her score?
125, was it?
Woo, Jenny. So you had 125 points. So
yeah,
next time
I've had like 6 scavenger hunts for the past 2 days with youth groups.
Okay, so you're ready. You're the pro. So what I have to do is, I live near Jenny. When we're allowed, Jenny, I'll give a prize to you. But right now it'll just have to be recognition that you won. But Jenny and I happen to live close to each other, so that's a real help. Jenny, did you have another question, or was that it?
No, good work. That's it. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Any other questions? We have a few more minutes. We can answer any questions, or we can finish up early.
I was just going to say that, just to follow on from what Jenny was saying there, is that we are going to be looking, as you said, about the prayer ministry training. And I think that's the key point, is that when we're doing those things, it's about getting as much feedback as we can from people and how that works. And I think that's the thing, is that the training that we'll give will be from what we've heard from where it's worked elsewhere, and then also kind of what we imagine, but that will have to become a breathing document for moving forward. So, that for anybody who's trying these different things, and when we're running the webinars, we love to get people's feedback from there as well about what it's looking like on the ground and how it's working. So let's say, Brother Andrew, you're running it twice a week. What does that look like? What's the engagement like? So that we're able to then pass it on to other people. And then realistically, it'll probably be 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, if people, are running it, where there'll be that need for the prayer ministry training, because it will be coming closer into view, I think, for people. So we really will try to be making it as light and as adaptable as possible for people as it goes on. So just wanted to say that.
Excellent. Any other questions? Well, we really appreciate everyone coming along and taking this journey with us, and taking the risk of trying to run a Holy Spirit Day and retreat online. We really want to be a resource and to help you with that. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with us and let us know what we can do. Email us. My email is in the chat. And just let us know how we can resource you, and if you're having any trouble accessing all the things that we talked about, like on the My Alpha, please do let us know. It could be just something simple that we can help you with. So please let us know when you're starting your alpha. That should be in the My Alpha. It'll ask you that anyway. And that ensures that we can be praying for you throughout your alpha. We try to go and look and do look for more communication from Alpha Ireland as we communicate about what's coming up next. We hope to be communicating on a weekly basis and letting people know and how we're resourcing. We are going to be offering coaching sessions as well for those. So anyone that needs just one-on-one time, please, you can book them in for Thursday afternoons, and that can start straight away. So we have time slots available every Thursday afternoon for 20 minutes one-on-one with one of the Alpha staff, and we'd be happy to work with you and coach you as you answer any questions as you're trying to get your alpha going or while you're running your alpha. So you can book that in by emailing me as well, or John. John is john@alphaireland.org. So get in touch with us for certain. We really appreciate it. Why don't I pray to finish out our time together? Thank you so much, Liam. I just want to say, Liam has been amazing. This is him, and Shannon has been amazing as our host today. But in general, they've been a part of the Alpha Youth team. And today is their last day on staff with us. They're moving on to different pastures. But I just want to say a huge thank you to both of them on this webinar and just honor them. They have been heroes for running Alpha Youth in the country. Deirdre, I want to mention her. She's down in Cork. And Deirdre has been our regional coordinator for youth down in the southeast region. And Deirdre is also she finished up with us, I believe, last week. It was last week. And I wanted to make sure I took the time to honor her as well and just say what an amazing team. I've loved working with the three of these heroes as they move on to, we've had to do some different restructurings. Obviously, Alpha has been affected by the pandemic. And these three heroes have just finished up with us on staff, and we're just so thankful for the three of them and how amazing they are. So just wanted to honor them today and bless them. I'm hoping we'll still see much of them as they connect in with us running Alpha, as I believe each of them are hoping to do in their regions, and still be a point of contact as an ambassador, potentially as somebody to talk to, and we'll be in touch with all of you about that. So these guys are heroes at running Alpha, so just well done to all of you, and thank you so much for the gift of you and the resource that you have been for facilitating the evangelization of young people in Ireland. It's amazing, so thank you.